Welcome back to another episode of 1v1 Match Week 33. Can you believe that we're almost there? We are
5
5
games to
games
go.
away. Yeah,
Wow.
this is April. They say Guardiola doesn't lose in April, but Arteta does not win in April. What a tough spot. They say Guardiola has accumulated 2.5 points per game in April, while Ateta is 1.5.
I think after Man City's win versus Chelsea, I
Yeah.
think that was like the 28th win in 31 appearances because I think Guardiola has played 31 games in April.
Mm-hmm.
And when he won versus Chelsea, that was 28. But I mean, I don't really
Just
think
to,
that
uh-huh.
Arsenal have lost all their April games. I just feel like Arsenal are having that uh, manager of the month curse. I hate it. I hate when Manchester United manager wins manager of the month because we always suffer the following month. And Ateta got the last manager of the month one. I
So
remember.
it combines a lot of narratives, you see, because Ateta's April is not always good, and Guardiola's April is always good, and then now you have this manager of the month. Because and talk about manager of the month, it doesn't come from nowhere. You know, everybody is like, oh, Arsenal, but Arsenal are top in the form table, let alone just table in the form table of the Premier League. Like, okay, yeah, I understand there is overall form, but the same critics are always quick to also say, but this is the prime and this is the because Man City got kicked out by poor Real Madrid. No one punched them. They were like, that's different from this. But when it's
Mm.
Arsenal, their form is poor. But when you look at the form, Arsenal is top. We only lost the Bournemouth game. Otherwise, we'd have 5-5.
Oh yeah. Uh,
Yeah. But I don't know how that plays into us. Is it a mindset thing or is it a form thing going into this game? Is it that we've been losing games, but we just lost one Premier League in the last 5? Maybe we just like, okay, we're gonna switch up back on because this is the prem. Or what do you think? Like the mindset heading into this fixture is gonna be like for Arsenal, considering their form and lack of scoring because they haven't scored in I think almost in the last how many games they've scored one goal in almost 3 games.
mm. Well,
Yeah.
there's been a little dip in form. It's only it worked for Arsenal maybe in a certain way that they had to play non-Premier League games in that space as well,
Yeah.
because that loss to Man City followed by the one Southampton. Uh, it's good for Arsenal that those ones were not in the Premier League,
Mhm.
and then it depends on how quick Arsenal swings back because that's like one win in 5 games. I know the last game was not really important because you did not need to win it. It's only the other 4 that you needed to win.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that plays in the minds of Arsenal because when I saw the final whistle versus Sporting Lisbon, I don't know if it was just the fatigue on the face of Declan Rice or if he was just not satisfied with the way Arsenal turned out that game because they had qualified and he was looking like in despair. Well, although Ateta explained that he had to play maybe through an injury because he was not supposed to play that game.
Mhm.
But that's something that can have somebody reading into maybe feeling like he was not convinced with the way Arsenal turned up that game. But you see, the most important thing for that game was to qualify, which Arsenal qualified. So it will be unnecessary to look into the dynamics of that game. But uh, I cannot rule out the fact that this form conversation has gotten into the heads of Arsenal players, and that's something that Arteta has to prove that he can help the players shake it away. Because when everybody is talking about form, and now the players have to come out and respond to it, and the manager has to respond to it, it means it's getting in the it it's
It's then
probably
the journalists that are forcing the narratives. It's the journalists that have opted to focus on the negatives, and I think it has gotten into the fans' heads also because Atletico lost the game at home, right? But
True.
they went through, yeah. But people are celebrating. The fans were celebrating. So nothing to do with the game because everybody understands it's about
Mm,
going through. But
mm,
if the fans had, because everybody I saw, I think it's the fans. The Arsenal fans are just the shittiest fans, especially those people that go to the stadium. And I'm not gonna say that because if you look at all other clubs that went through, there
mm,
was an atmosphere where
mm,
players could go
mm,
and dance in front of their fans because
mm,
they've gone through. Bayern,
mm.
Atletico, everybody that went through at home, they went and danced in front of their fans. We
True.
went through at home. Why couldn't we just do that? Why couldn't the fans create such an atmosphere and stay and celebrate, or instead of looking like, oh man, what about Man City? It's crazy because Atletico Madrid have a game on the weekend. They have a final. But it was
Yeah.
not in their heads, and they were not thinking about that. And they did not let these people that are selling narratives get into their heads. You could see them they've lost the game, but you could see them celebrating. And that's the same thing. Arsenal, we won that game. 0-0, but we won. We went
True.
through. Yeah. So
True.
I don't know why. I think it's very easy to get lost. And I think sometimes Evra is right. I think Arsenal fans are delusional. They're very delusional in where we really are. Because I've told you this more than once. I understand Ateta has to win, but where we are is a good place. That's a
Mm,
fact. We are
mm,
in the last four of the Champions League, two
mm,
seasons in a row. Yes, it might be normal for others. It's not normal for us. And for fans to take that moment for granted in the stadium and make it a damp moment. What if it doesn't come next season? What if you don't get a qualifying game at home to the semis? Because this is life. Real Madrid have not gotten through. But
mm,
big clubs have not gotten through. But you
mm.
don't celebrate that moment. You send this kind of atmosphere to all Arsenal fans. And I think those stadium going fans need to change. They need to drive the narrative heading forward. You need to clap them all the way. That's the game. You have to. Otherwise,
Yeah, that
this
is
starts
true.
from there, and then all over the world. Because what is this? We're 6 points clear.
Mm,
We are into the semis of the Champions League,
mm.
but even Arsenal fans are falling into this thing. These other guys are hating. Man. That's what it is. There is nothing wrong. We understand there is form issues sometimes, but for them to let it seep in and even affect players in a situation where we need to have been happy that we are in the last four. Amen. Just those match going fans are a disappointment. And I think they're the problem. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some sense of entitlement there, and that's what I'm saying. Uh, like the ball is going to stop with Arteta because he will have to manage the dressing room because the fans are bringing tension to the stadium, and that tension can slide into the dressing room because what if the next home game uh, you fall behind?
Yeah.
And what if they start booing the defender who makes the mistake? Because that delusion, thinking that now we are throwing it away instead of
Yeah.
thinking that you know what we've fallen behind, let's be the 12th person. So
Yeah.
it all depends on how Arteta is going to manage that dressing room. And you know, Arsenal is a big club; it's a big fan base, and you know, because of that, the hatred becomes big. I think uh,
Yeah.
Arsenal haven't been in this position for so many times. You know, Arsenal has been in the title race, but I don't think they have been this close. So.
Yeah.
Like as a United fan, I've never felt before that Arsenal are getting it like I'm feeling this season, and therefore the hatred that goes towards Arsenal this season is different from all other seasons, and this is something new because Arsenal have not experienced this type of hatred in the last 10 or so years. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, the previous years they were in the title race, but we always felt that Man City were going
Everybody
to.
knew City was
Yeah,
going to win.
we always felt that Man City were going to nick it. You know,
Everybody knew. Everybody knew.
yeah,
Yeah.
everybody knew Man City were going to nick it. So we were just people were just ready to laugh. But this season is different. People are feeling
Yeah.
that Arsenal are going to take it, and Arsenal are now wondering why people hate them. This is just what happens when you are in that position. You've not been in that position before. Now you
Yeah.
are in this position. This is what happens when you're a big team. Man City can
Yeah.
be in that position, but they're not a big team.
Yeah.
Like the fan base.
Yeah.
Liverpool does not have that huge fan base outside England. So this type of hatred you only experience it when you are Arsenal or when you are Manchester United. I
That's it.
remember when
Yeah.
United went to Europa League final last season, and Sky Sports ran a poll for the fans of the other 18 teams who they wanted to win the Europa League, and only Man United fans wanted Manchester United. So, so Arsenal need not to crumble under this type of pressure, because this is what happens when you are in that position. So listening to the outside noise and turning against your own team is shooting yourself in the foot. You have to
Yeah.
stay behind the team and keep the
Yeah.
team going and going, and just be the 12th person, because you're going to make teams think that if we go to the Emirates and we score first, the fans might turn against Arsenal.
Yeah. We'll have the crowd behind us. But what do you think about this game on Sunday, though? It's crazy. I mean, do you think it's a title decider, or it is going to be very key in the title deciding?
It will be very key, because uh, if Arsenal come out with anything, the title race shifts in Arsenal's favor. If Arsenal come out empty-handed, then it becomes open.
Mm.
So it's a key game. It either opens the race or swings it in the way of Arsenal.
Yeah, Arsenal would be keen not to concede goals because it's three, and any goal they add, we subtract. So it'll be like any goal is two goals.
Hmm. True.
So they should be they should be careful not to concede goals if they can. For that reason, I want us to win, but I think we're gonna draw the game. Uh,
Yeah,
I think we're gonna draw the game. Uh-huh.
the draw. A draw looks like a most likely outcome, but I just don't know how Arsenal set up, because this is not a game that I think Arsenal well, I can't talk for them. It's a
Uh-huh.
game that you will want Arsenal to go out and try to win. That way, maybe try to get a point, because a 90 minutes on the back foot is very dangerous. You can lose concentration for a second. But if you're sitting back with the plan to get them on the counter, to get the ball behind, then that's uh, a good strategy for this one. Uh, a Navi game, but I think that the home team might just edge this one.
Okay.
Mhm.
For once, we are happy. The whole media does not saying Arsenal should win. Arsenal are going to. The pressure is not on us. Everybody knows we're going to lose. Perfect.
No,
That's what we
a draw
like.
looks a draw looks likely. I just decided to give the home advantage, because I feel like Arsenal need a response, and I don't know if this is the response or when, because uh, you need to respond to the drovers, to the lost Bournemouth,
Yeah, we
and
need to respond to
yeah,
that.
yeah, collecting two L's looks unlikely. So a draw is actually the most likely game. But I just think that Man City have some momentum that is making me think that they might just edge it.
Mm. The previous time we dropped points was Wolves. So you can imagine how far back that was.
Ooh.
But on to another banger. Chelsea host Man United. Man United are limping on one foot at the moment. They have
Yeah,
one Aiden Heaven at the back and no other centre backs.
yeah,
Chelsea
that's
themselves
just
have issues, form and their coach, of course. But yeah, girl, what do you think about that fixture?
I'm saying that everything seems to favor Chelsea, because we only have Aiden Heaven as a defender. That guy could not make Arsenal team B. He's our only available defender. The other thing is that we beat Chelsea in the first leg. Uh, these big teams don't always give 6 points easily. And although both of us lost, Chelsea is home. They uh, they they picked a 3-0 loss, and as compared to United loss, I think Chelsea were battered too much by the fan base. So
Mm.
needing to respond to that 3 loss win, playing home, needing to respond to United having beaten them in the first leg, and also United not having defenders, things just seem to be against United for this fixture.
So you're giving Chelsea or United?
I ain't gonna give Chelsea. I've seen weak teams go there and collect stuff. I've seen, I've seen, I've seen weaker sides.
Chelsea are on a deathbed themselves, but they
I've
get
seen,
their captain back though. No, Enzo though, not yeah. You see teams collect points there.
yeah, I've seen weaker teams. I think even Leeds that beat me did not leave there empty-handed.
Mm.
Sunderland did not leave there empty-handed.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's a game that gives me the vibes of a draw. I know the love for Man United is trying to trick me into going for a win, but I think maybe I should just play careful and try sit in the fence.
Let me give you one fun fact before you give your Brentford play before Chelsea at home against Fulham.
Mm.
They get anything from that game. Chelsea go into that game sitting seventh. The United game sitting seventh.
Low-key, that might be a good thing for United because it now means if Chelsea come into that game seventh, it means United can sit back and get them on the counter.
Mm. You
Because
said you're sitting on the fence.
the owners will be on them to come at us. United plays well versus teams that attack us, and we play
Mhm.
well versus big sides.
Mm.
We've gotten results versus Liverpool, Arsenal, the same Chelsea, Man City. Uh, no, Spurs is not a good side. Aston Villa, we play well in big games. It's only that I don't think we're collecting 6 from Chelsea. That's making me sit on the fence here. Mm.
Well, I think Chelsea will win this one. I don't know. Uh, they they can't take two L's at home in a row unless they want to fire their manager. Two in a row at home, and then on the back of dropping behind Brentford.
Yeah.
Man, if that happens, I'd be very surprised. I'd be happy to be wrong. That's the point. I'd be happy to be wrong. But uh so I gave Chelsea, you gave there's another tough fixture coming up, and Roberto Di Zerbi hosts his former team, Brighton. And they don't come bigger than that.
That
And
is some game.
they
That
look
is
like
some
they are
game.
sitting warm in that 18th position. Like there is a clear gap between them and the next people. So
Mm.
the 2 points. So they are getting comfortable in that position. So, but I think Tottenham are gonna get points. The last time they got points in the Premier League was against Liverpool. So yeah, those are the
Yeah,
only points to go hard. Yeah,
that's the only point they have in 2026, right?
yeah. The only ego to door point.
Yeah, that's the only point they have. But also in Matchweek 32 in the survival race, they are the only teams that did not pick a point.
Yep.
I think if they don't pick something this match week, then they might as well as just accept their fate. Uh,
That's true.
yeah, they might just accept their fate. The other teams grabbed something. Spurs was away. Spurs is at home. It's their only chance to respond because the other teams might get something again. And if they're losing this one with 5 games to go, Deserbi should just start uh, thinking about championship. Mm.
There is if Brighton win that game, they go above Chelsea.
Both teams want it. Both teams want it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
both teams want it. Yeah,
Spurs manager is facing his former team. We can also
yeah,
say Brighton are facing their former manager.
yeah.
I just don't know how to go about this game. I feel that Spurs should, that's the word, should need it more than
Right.
Brighton. But that's what I said last weekend.
Yeah, me too. But
You know.
I'm gonna give Dizabi this one. I'm gonna give Dizabi this one. Let's see if he can. He has his strikers fit, so he should come up with something. This is the prem, you know. We remember people like Mitch. We don't remember the rest of the team. So
Right.
if you have two good strikers, you can give us some magic. So I'll try go with Tottenham for this one. Let's see how this one
Yeah,
goes.
this is one of the two controversial games that I'm predicting because uh, I settled for Spurs as well, and it looks controversial because almost everything points against them except the fact that they need it more. That's the only thing that made me choose them. They need it more, but
Yeah.
all other numbers, all other stats, and everything, form, everything is working against them. But I believe that at some point Spurs have to win a game, and a home game has to be the best opportunity for them. So I'm going with Spurs on this one too.
You know, teams have picked form. Bournemouth picked form since they were beaten by Arsenal. Wolves picked form at some point. United picked form at some point. Villa had form at some point. Everybody has some spells of form. Spurs
Mm,
need that. They need at least a 5 game spell. Everybody, even West Ham have had a spell. Even
mm,
Leeds had a spell. Everybody has had a
mm.
spell. Even Liverpool had their spell first 5 games.
True.
So they also need at least a spell.
Yep.
If not,
If they can, three
if
good results will do them a favor.
yeah,
Mm,
if not, Brighton will smash them, go above Chelsea, and then you'll hear their manager saying, "Oh, I'm not renewing at the end of the season." Just like this smart guy coming next, Newcastle against Bournemouth. He waited for the perfect moment to announce he's leaving while everybody is talking about how he just beat Arsenal. Then, oh, perfect. Now I'm leaving. Now, even if they lose all the games now and the rest of the season, the memory in that moment is he had just beaten Arsenal away and he was on this run. That's the conversation. I think that was
mm.
very smart using Arsenal. Because that propels his CV to clubs like United and Chelsea's because
Yeah,
he
true.
just beat Arsenal. Yeah,
Yeah, true.
he goes
And
away to Newcastle. I don't know if he can do the magic again. Newcastle hosting Bournemouth.
I don't know. That's one game that I don't know. I sincerely don't know how it goes. Uh, Newcastle are shaky. Bournemouth are getting some form in. Uh, the Arsenal win bounce is still there, but Newcastle just lost to Crystal Palace away, and Newcastle are now coming home, and they need something. But also, there appear to be chaos at St James Park because this thing of Eddie Howe for the second match week coming out saying that I'm not going to play a player just because of their price. He's now talking about players in the indirectly in the press. It's giving me a Rosinia vibes. So I don't really think that things are really good there at the park. Uh, Having dropped both Visa and who is the tall German,
Voltemade.
Visa and Walter Made. Things don't seem to be boiling nicely over there. So it's a little bit shaky. Everything seems to point to Bournemouth, but I'm going to give them a Newcastle a fighting chance and sit on the fence. Probably there's a tie here.
Yeah, because in as much as they've been talking about Bournemouth, oh Bournemouth, Bournemouth before beating Arsenal had 5 draws in the
True.
Prem.
True. True.
But when they beat Arsenal, then the conversation, you know what it becomes? They've been unbeaten in the last 5. And he just beat Arsenal away. So
That
he
makes it
needs a
6.
job like United. Is it?
And and I still feel they were lucky versus United though.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten over that.
I remember the Ahmad Diallo one. On the other hand, Newcastle have been receiving L's. They have 3 in a row. So from the Barcelona one to the Sunderland and then the Crystal Palace, yeah, I think something's broken. I might give Bournemouth. They have a pump. I'll give Bournemouth controversially.
Yeah, that's likely. I think the draw is the controversial. My draw is the controversial prediction here.
Uh, at least we'll switch points there. But we'll take a flight all the way to Merseyside, where informed Everton host Liverpool in their new stadium for the first time. And I don't know. I think I'll just go ahead before we talk. I think Everton might be. I might change my mind at the end of the talk, but I think Everton are going to, to beat Liverpool.
uh,
Everton are in form, is it? Uh-huh.
when I said that, oh, I don't know which one I gave us the Spurs as one of my controversial predictions.
Yeah,
This is the other controversial prediction because I see Liverpool getting cooked here. I just see them. Yeah. They beat. Uh, they beat Fulham. Yes, at home. Fulham is not even winning away, and
yeah,
then they low key got positives by by not being beaten 5 by PSG at home. So that was a positive for them according to their fan base.
yeah,
So uh, I just think that they don't have a good CV heading into this game. And although Everton have not been good at home, that might be only the thing that maybe motivates Liverpool because Everton has been a threat away. But this one, with Liverpool's form, I think they're getting fried at Hill Dickinson.
yeah. I'm picking one also because I'll be surprised. Isak looks like he can't even play under 21 right now. Salah, I don't know if he's the guy that will want to even help Slot keep his job. and,
Nah,
and it just looks fragmented. So I think Everton have a chance to go above Chelsea also if they win. I think they
ooh,
might take the chance. Yeah, I think they might
man,
take the chance
this
to
would have
play
been a
for
good
Europe.
weekend. This would have been
Yeah.
a good weekend for United to cook Chelsea then. It would have been a
This would
good
be a
weekend.
good weekend if United win because Liverpool have a tough fixture and then you've beaten Chelsea and then
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I think Everton wins this one in my opinion. So it's not so controversial that I think that Aston Villa are the others fighting for the Champions League, but they host already qualified Sunderland. Sunderland look
Mm.
already qualified, but somehow they still took 3 points from Tottenham. And Tottenham still crying about the ref.
Yeah, these teams playing for fun are unpredictable. Uh, one day they just turn out to spoil.
Yeah,
And their fun is in spoiling. And
yeah.
I think they're going to Villa Park and spoiling will make their day. Uh, I feel like Chelsea playing United might make Villa want to win their game.
Yeah.
Uh, and I don't know if I'm just negative towards Villa because uh, it's easier to choose Villa this game, but I just feel like Sunderland can choose to spoil the mood for any day, and Villa could not even beat Nottingham Forest in the other game, and most Villa's wins have been Europe anyway. And I think Bologna twice, and the other one Elche was a friendly,
Mhm.
but they haven't really been doing very well in the Premier League. So I think that Sunderland come away with 1 point.
That's a very likely result. Uh, if Villa meet Nottingham again, right? In the Europa League?
Yeah, in the semi.
Yeah, tough one that. But if Villa, well, if they draw, it doesn't really matter. Liverpool won't catch up with them. So yeah, I
Yeah,
think
they only switch positions with United potentially, unless if United lose by big margin and Liverpool wins by a good margin. That's what sends United to fifth, which is still 4 ahead of Chelsea. But I think it's only for Aston Villa is only a matter of switching with United.
mm, mm, I'll give Villa then.
Yeah, that's the likelier one. That's why I think I went for a draw because of the bias and the
And the
and
one
that
what you want.
competition. Yeah, it's what I want. I went for what I want.
That's true. Sometimes you need those. But on the other side of town, Crystal Palace host West Ham. That looks like a nice fixture where, uh, well, right at the top of my head without analyzing, I think West Ham need it more.
They do.
They
They
need it
do.
more. And
Mm.
Palace just won a game that they didn't need to win, the Newcastle one. They beat West Ham away last time.
Mm.
So
Tough one.
Palace at home. The last time Palace won at home in this fixture was in 2024.
Mm. That's a season
I'll give
away.
West Ham. You say what?
That's a season away.
Yeah.
Because 24, then 25. This is the second season after that. Yeah, it's a tough game. It's a tough one, but just like Sunderland, Crystal Palace is a team that wins when they don't really need to. The mood spoilers.
Yeah.
They're losing to Newcastle. Newcastle is trying to climb up the table. They don't care. They
That's
don't
your
care.
problem.
Yeah.
Not our problem.
Yeah, so I think they might just be stubborn and share the spoils again in this game, mm. Just
That's
because
a
they are
very
home.
likely one. Yeah, that's a very likely result also. Considering Palace are picking form, they just trashed a team in Europe, and I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Someone else fighting relegation is Nottingham, who hosts Burnley.
Mm.
Nottingham host Burnley. Uh, I think Nottingham will win. Okay, they have to, even though they just played in Europe. And man, Burnley, mathematically, they're not out, but we both know they're out. They're 10 points away from Spurs. So
Mm.
Nottingham for me.
I'm with you on that one. I think I know Burnley will come to cause trouble. They don't want to make
Point.
it easy. Yeah, they don't want to make
Yeah.
it easy for Forest, but I think Forest just has that edge. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, Nottingham at home. They want to get from the pump of the Europe and just keep it there and put more pressure on Dizabi, and I think. But to the first game of the Premier League tomorrow is Brentford hosting Fulham, and we had said that these are the teams that they could all give away the 3 points, and they don't really matter because they're both qualified. But Brentford have an incentive; they might get a European, like a real European spot, if they win this game, and they host Fulham, who lost to
Away to
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
I don't know what you think. Fulham
Yeah,
away
Liverpool
game.
have not been good away, and they're still going away, which is not their best ground. But at the same time, Brentford don't really look like they're taking that incentive. I just when is the last time they won a Premier League game? Did they
Brentford.
win last match week? I think they lost it at the
Um,
death.
no, they won a Premier League game in February last.
That's the other thing. They haven't really been winning
Yeah,
in the Premier League, and Fulham are not good away. Uh,
yeah.
I just feel like Brentford are on the drawing table right now, and that's where I'm gonna go a tie for this one. Mhm.
Um,
A team that has bad form at
Relax.
home, a team that
Yeah.
has bad form away.
Yeah, and
I gotta
Fulham are
wait.
also just a bit shaky in a way. You
Mm.
know what? I'll throw caution to the wind. I'll give Fulham this one. Let's see. They were humiliated the other day at Liverpool. They might have picked form and told Brentford, you know the meme, the Saka and Chiellini meme. You're going to Europe.
Going nowhere.
Like, yeah. I see that happening.
Yeah. And
So,
this might be the match week that we switch positions too, because I think we are separate on almost five.
yeah, we're separating a lot here today because, yeah.
Mm.
But there is another fixture at the bottom. So Nottingham, Burnley, but Leeds also Wolves. So
Mm.
both Wolves and Burnley have to lose as it stands. Leeds hosting Wolves, I think it's under the lights. No. Is it? Well, I don't know. It's 7 here, but they say Leeds don't lose under the lights, but they lost to United, did they? No, they didn't.
No, they collected 4 points
To
this season.
City, the
Oh.
first game. It was not United City. They lost to City under the. That's when there was the narrative of under the lights. But they host Wolves. Wolves might just say you turn on or turn off your lights. I
That's the
don't
problem.
care.
That's the problem with Wolves. They spoilers. I mean, if Wolves stand out and spoil for Leeds, uh, Leeds are not such a rival to United, but they beat me. I don't think I'll sympathize with them as much.
Yeah. Yeah.
But but I don't
Yeah.
know which one you're going for on this one because you go first.
Uh, I think Leeds need the points.
They do.
And but they also beat Wolves away last year. Wolves were in bad form. And uh, Leeds have also lost at home to Sunderland recently, apart from the
Mm.
City game. So but if they win, then they really become clear. Because even if Spurs win and Leeds lose, Leeds are 36, Spurs are 30.
Mm.
If they
Mm.
win, then they've solidified their position. But I think they'll take their chances at home. I'll give Leeds this one against
Yeah,
Wolves. I think Wolves, their time is done now.
yeah, me too. Because I think Leeds needs it more. I think when Leeds looked at their running fixtures, and they tried to look at where they get points, they might have looked at Wolves and said, "This is one of the teams. This is one of the games that we get something out of." Uh, United one, that one they didn't see it coming, but they turned up. They turned up for it. They wanted it more. So I just based going off of what I saw them do at United, fighting for the win from the first minute away in a hostile field. I just think that home, I expect them to be even explosive. So if Wolves pull a surprise, good for them. But I'm putting my money on Leeds. Mm.
I'll leave it at Leeds. We'll see. We'll see how this match week goes. We started at 82, 83. You are ahead at 83, while I'm at 82. But we have so many different ones this time. We'll see how it goes. Starting with Man City Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm shaky. I'm
I have
shaky
a
because
feeling we are both gonna lose this one, but
I feel like the Man City Arsenal one, I might lose that one because as much as I've talked about Arsenal's form being shaky and stuff like that, I mean, I can't sit here comfortably and tell you that Man City are in the best form. Even versus Chelsea, the secret for Man City is staying in the game. You know, versus Arsenal in the FA Cup, they stayed in the game. Arsenal had a good first half. City stayed in the game and won in the second half. Versus
yeah,
Liverpool in the first half, Liverpool looked like even if you go back to that game and look at statistics,
yeah,
you'll see that they almost have the same shots on target. You see like the statistics tell you that it was a balanced game. But it's
Yeah.
only that in the first half, Man City hung on, and they did it in the second half. Versus Chelsea, in the first half, they had good chances. You know, the goalkeeper made a save. Chelsea missed some chances here and there. Man City
Yeah.
hung in and won it in
Yeah.
the second half. So it's not
Yeah.
that Man City are just they have that good. You know, when you win,
Yeah, they're
people
not
don't
as solid. Yeah. When you win, people
exactly.
don't point fingers a lot. Yeah.
Exactly, but
Yeah.
as much as I went for City, I cannot really say that it's a solid thing here. So that might be the first one that goes maybe your way because Arsenal win might also be a surprise because on a title race at a point like this when City are at home, uh, uh, three
They're
results
not
can go.
losing.
Yeah, three
Yeah.
results can happen here. Three results can
Yeah.
happen here, but Man City collecting an N will be something that is unpredictable by anybody at this point.
We'll see. We'll see
Yeah,
how it goes. We can only hope. That's why we are
true.
football fans. We can
True.
only hope. But we'll see how that goes.
Yes,
But I'll
sir.
catch you on the preview on the review on Monday and see how this went.
Yes. Have a good weekend.